going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Crime City. Check out my new hat. I know, Spurs are doing real good this year. Anyways, I got this video that was sent to me. We're going to go ahead and check it out, see what it's about. Doesn't look like it's going to be too good, because there's a wrecked Cybertruck right here. But let's get straight into it.
On the early morning of November 27th, 2024, just before 3 a.m., 4 recent Piedmont High School graduates were driving
Bro, that's horrible right there. That's not even a vehicle anymore.
through Piedmont, California, after a night out with friends. They were home for Thanksgiving break. Inside a Tesla Cybertruck, 19-year-old Soren Dixon was driving, with 20-year-old Jack Nelson and 19-year-old Krista Tsukahara in the back seat, and 20-year-old Jordan Miller in the front passenger seat. Another car, with 2 friends, a man and a woman, followed about a minute behind them. In the minutes leading up to the crash, an image captured from the Cybertruck's right repeater camera would later show someone holding a half-gallon bottle of clear liquid.
So you can't say for sure. I mean, I don't know if they've already 100% confirmed this or not. Just to protect myself, I can't say for sure or not, but if I had to guess, that looks like some alcohol. And that would make a bunch of sense as to why this Cybertruck is wrecked the way that it is. And that's very sad because yes, they are adults, but they're basically kids still. They're so young.
A detail that would become important as investigators worked to understand what happened that night. As the 2 cars approached the intersection of Hampton Road and King Avenue, the road curved. According to police, the Cybertruck was moving at a high rate of speed. Investigators later stated that Dixon went through an intersection where the roadway curved and did not adjust his speed, causing the vehicle to veer off the road. Moments later, the Cybertruck lost control. It slammed into a large tree, then a retaining wall, before becoming wedged against another tree. The impact was so violent that the vehicle immediately burst into flames, quickly becoming engulfed. The car behind them arrived soon after. The male driver pulled over and ran toward the burning wreck. Using a piece of wood, he broke through the Cybertruck's windows, trying to reach the people inside. As he later told investigators, he managed to pull Jordan Miller out from the front passenger seat.
So I know Tesla has this thing about non-breakable windows. There's something to be said for windows that can be broken though. And over and over and over again, there are plenty of incidences like this where somebody's life was or could have been saved by breaking the window, or wasn't saved because they couldn't break the window. I don't think having unbreakable windows is a good idea. You're not really going to get into a situation where you need unbreakable windows. I think they would need to be broken more than they would need to withstand any kind of pressure or force.
But the fire was spreading too quickly.
When Dixon left the house, did he look visibly intoxicated? He seemed fine, but you know he's been drinking. Do you think at that time he was able to drive? Okay, but he's been drinking quite a amount. Okay. Okay, so after that, you took him back to his house. You got his Tesla truck, his Cybertruck. Okay. Did you take off before him or after? After. I was in the car when I passed him. Okay.
And we were like a minute behind them. To the corner and just the car in a wall of flames. And I saw them looking back and I knew it was the Cybertruck.
So this happened in 2024. I'm just looking at the date down here right now. I didn't know it was 2 years old, but pretty sure a lot of people haven't heard about this, just like I hadn't heard about it.
So I just stopped and I tried to open the doors, but
You got the front right passenger?
I broke that window and I broke the back passenger. By that time I got to the back, it was the fire was.
In house camera footage recorded shortly after the crash, Miller can be seen walking with visible injuries before sitting down behind a car in a nearby driveway. The woman from the trailing car is seen walking behind him, and moments later, the male driver joins them as they stay with Miller while officers and firefighters arrive. Despite their efforts, the fire made it impossible to reach the others in time.
Bro, that's like one of the worst ways to go out. I don't... To be trapped in a car and to not be able to be saved or get out and you're on fire, I don't wish that on anybody. Not my worst enemy. Nobody. So as bad as it sounds, I hope they had already passed in the wreck rather than them sitting there trapped and being burned. Either way, man, I hope those kids rest in peace. That's very sad.
Soren Dixon, Jack Nelson, and Krista Tsukahara were pronounced dead at the scene. All three died from smoke inhalation and severe burns. The Alameda County Court...
Well, that answers the question, doesn't it? So they did get burned, and then they got smoke inhalation. That's so sad, man. I've never understood why people drink and then drive. I've never understood it. Of course you're going to feel like you can do it because you're drunk. Stupid. You're going to be able to feel like you can do it, but you can't. You're impaired. And it's usually the people that are driving that survive, and other innocent people who wouldn't have put themselves in that position that pass away. It's never the person that was drinking. For some reason, they always live, and the innocent ones always pass. That's very sad. One thing y'all should always do is take the keys from your friend, family, father, mother, anybody. If you're in front of somebody drinking, even if it's a damn stranger, take those keys away. What are they going to do? They want to fight? Hit them in the mouth. They're drunk. They ain't going to be able to do nothing. You would probably unknowingly save multiple lives if you did that.
The coroner later ruled their deaths accidental. The victims were all former classmates and athletes who had recently started college. Jordan Miller survived, but with critical injuries. Body cam footage also shows investigators on scene trying to piece together the events of the night, speaking with the passengers of the trailing vehicle. The driver acknowledged that Dixon had been drinking earlier in the night, though he did not specify how much.
Which person? The driver. We don't even know if he's been.
So unless I'm misunderstanding, they said that this was accidental, but they know that this kid was drinking earlier in the day? I don't get that. I don't get it. How is that an accident if somebody who was impaired was driving? You got a really good lawyer, or there's something that I'm missing here?
Driver's Soren. Who's Jordan? Jordan is the person I pulled. Jordan's at the hospital. So Soren's. So the people that was there, you and Soren, let me ask you this. Was there anyone there that was over 21? Do you know who prevented the alcohol? Yeah, they had to. At the house on 15th Street?
I'm not sure what that was, but I just got it.
Okay.
They're not even old enough to drink. 3 people not even at the age to buy alcohol are deceased now because of alcohol. Y'all gotta be careful out there, man. I know everybody never, like a lot of people, they don't think about death, right? You feel invincible until you really sit there and think about it. We are some of the most fragile things in this universe. We could easily, for multiple reasons, pass away at any time. Why tempt fate and go out there and help by doing stupid things that could make you pass sooner. I know kids, young adults, they don't think about this kind of stuff. Like I said, they don't think about death. You feel invincible. You feel like, oh, that can't happen to me. And then it does. And then what? You got to be more smart. Yes, you want to have fun. Have fun. Nobody's telling you not to. But have fun in a smart way. Protect yourself. Protect your friends. Protect your family. Protect strangers. Nobody should lose their life because of poor decisions that you or somebody else makes. And especially if it's something that you or somebody else could have stopped, but refused to do so because you were afraid how you were going to look or whatever the case is.
So when you got there, there's already alcohol at the house. Was there anyone that was 21 over at the house? They were? Okay. And then I assume any of the owners of the house? Do you know their names? And those are the only two adults that was over 21 at the house at that time?
Maybe his brothers. They were downstairs.
That all come down every time you guys were there for a while? No, it was just the eight of your friends at the time. Okay. And you said there's vodka there, right? Beer. Okay. And then Soren. You said did he mostly have vodka or did he have mostly have beer? Okay, that's fine. I don't remember. Approximately really paying attention. Okay. And approximately how many drinks do you think he had throughout the time? Like 11 to 30?
I couldn't really hear that. It sounded like he said 8. Like, is he talking about shots? Is he talking about swigs? Is he talking about cups? Either way, vodka is what they think he was drinking. 8 of those? Somebody that young with that body build is gonna get shit-faced pretty quick.
You drove everyone that was in the Tesla as well? So 6 of you guys total. And then what's the swords?
That's where he got in his car.
What? 3 other passengers.
Correct.
That was also
She stayed with
Stephen. Then you guys got to Swords' house. Did he just immediately get to the Cybertruck? Or did he go to the house?
outside for like 5 minutes and first to grab the keys.
And who's first? Sword. Got the keys. Then everyone else went into the Cybertruck. Then he took off. And then so when he took off, like, have mentions of anything that, like, is this his first time driving a truck? Do you know?
It's not his first.
It's not his first. Is it his truck or is it his parents' truck? It's his grandparents. He's driven it before. Okay, but so when he drove away from his house, was he speeding? Did he drive away fast?
He was on a very like small, skinny road, so he was driving cautiously. He was driving cautiously.
Okay. Did he mention anything wrong with the truck at all before?
This is an issue with their Cybertrucks where their accelerator gets stuck to the floor.
Now you said you guys took off like about a minute after. Is there a reason why you guys didn't drive neck to neck or like follow each other?
I was plugging in my phone.
In another moment, captured on video, Miller's father is informed about the crash. At first, he appears to think it involved a pedestrian. Then he learns that his son survived, but the others did not.
His son survived, but I'm pretty sure he knew them other people, like, pretty well. Like, I know my kids, all their friends. I know all their friends. They come over a lot, right? If I ever heard that my son survived and his friends passed away, it would still feel like I lost children, man. This has got to be horrible for him.
Okay, I think he's living somewhere else. But Jordan Miller, do you have like Yeah. I just have to make sure that you were. So you're. Hey, we sent you a picture real quick for identifier. Are you there? Sing it. Is that him? So your son got here involved in the crash. That's all the information I can give you. Your son is a house. He is currently in surgery. Okay, you know where he's at. Well, my son's hanging out. I know the family.
Oh, sorry about that. Wrong thing. I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to get some subtitles on here because they're talking pretty low, but not gonna happen.
So we do have an officer at the hospital with your son. He's currently in surgery. But if people in the car die, so if you somehow, I can't tell you who it was, but if you somehow know people that was in the car with Jordan, please don't make anybody because we want the victim to be notified by authority, not by email. Yes, but yeah, I know it's shocked too, but he overlooked one. He was pulled out followed by his friend. He is a hospital. Okay, I gotta get back.
In the months that followed, investigators worked to determine exactly what caused the crash. The California Highway Patrol conducted a multidisciplinary accident investigation team analysis, reviewing vehicle data and crash dynamics. Their findings were clear. Speed and impairment were the primary causes. More than a year later, the case took a new turn. Jordan Miller filed a lawsuit against Tesla, alleging that the Cybertruck's electronic door system prevented escape after the crash. The lawsuit claims the vehicle relied too heavily on electronic controls, which may have failed during the fire, trapping occupants inside. Tesla has denied the allegations, stating that the vehicle meets safety standards. The case is ongoing. It didn't take long for everything to go wrong.
I'm gonna have to do some research and look that up. I just don't understand how you can blame something on a company saying that the things didn't open, which you wouldn't have had to do that if you weren't drinking and driving and wrecked the car. So you're kind of the reason why that happened. I understand you're mad and you lost some friends. I don't get how you can try to put that blame on somebody else. I don't know. They do a lot of that these days. People don't want to take accountability for what they do. That's a thing of the past. It's easier now for people just to blame it on somebody else, but whatever.
A curve in the road, a few seconds, and by the time anyone could react, it was already over. 3 lives lost, 1 survivor pulled from the wreck, and a night that doesn't end for the people who were there. Thank you for watching Fatal Impact. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more in-depth reports on the issues shaping our world. Stay informed and drive safely.
Okay, as y'all heard, that channel is called Fatal Impact. That's the one that I was just reacting to. It was a very sad one. I hope all 3 of those people rest in peace, and I hope that their families get some type of peace from all of this. I know that's easy to say. I've lost people, and I know it never goes away. You never truly get peace. But remember the time that you did have with them. That's the only thing you can do, right? One guy survived. It's usually how it happens. If you pay attention to all the wrecks of driving while impaired, that's almost 100% how it happens. It's unfair. All you can do is learn a lesson from it. Try not to do it again. You can't change the past. You can't bring people back. But you could do something to change the future and help others avoid things like this, right? So what do you think? It doesn't say anything about him facing any charges or anything, so I don't know if he ever faced any charges. Let me know what you think in the comments. Should he have faced charges? Should he not have had faced charges? Or do you know something that I don't know about this story? Let me know in the comments so that way I can be educated on it. I appreciate each and every one of you watching my videos like always. Thank you, and until next time, like always, stay tuned.